Hello and welcome to the Lake District. A very rainy and dull couple of days, but we have been so cosy and warm in here. So come in and have a look at the cottage. This is the central hub of the cottage, and we have spent many a time sat here with our cups of tea and chatting away by the fire. And it is such a beautiful room. It is really cozy and all-encompassing. It feels like you can really feel the history to the cottage, and the furnishings are absolutely incredible. It is so layered and so textured. It is very full of these rich, really thick fabrics, which just give it so much depth and vibrancy as well, with the colours and primary colours of mainly blue and red. It's just absolutely lovely. You really don't feel as though you're walking in to a house that you're renting. You feel as though you're walking in to a home. It's rumoured as well that William Wordsworth stayed here and carved his name in one of the beams. So we'll have to have a look and see if we can find it. Over here is the tapestry of the namesake of the cottage, and it is absolutely just really draws the room together, I think, and gives it that sort of textured and cozy vibe. Through into what they use as the dining room. It is fully panelled. It's so, you can just imagine the family sitting here and being so cozy, and these inbuilt little nooks where you can sit is just fantastic. It's really, really fun. A really, really beautiful room that feels true to itself, but also modernised enough to be useful, rather than a middling room that doesn't do anything. But it's really lovely in here and very, very cozy. And then this, I think we've decided, is potentially our favourite room. Come through, again, all panelled. And this is the sort of TV snug where we watched North and South last night. But it's just got this brilliant L sofa, which feels really easy and luxurious to sit in and very relaxed. But then you're surrounded by all the panelling, and then the plasterwork, which is done in this brilliant, rich ruby red, and a beautiful fireplace, and all the textiles, as I said before, are so rich and thick. It's almost like a Hessian rug or sack. It's just fantastic, and it's stitched together in this beautiful sort of almost kilim type way. Which I think is just such a great juxtaposition against the addition of the later windows, and also the sort of medieval kind of feel of the cottage. But then you've got this kind of real earthiness of the fabrics, which I love. It sort of all brings it very much together. I really feel as though Robert Kyne would love this house. I think he would love all the stuff inside it. And it's really eclectic from its artwork as well. There's just so many beautiful things. I mean, I know, I just love it. It's a pair, but I love it. I think there's an old nest here. That is exactly the sort of thing that I would be displaying in my house. To beautiful artworks, to Chinese chinoiserie candlesticks. It's just brilliant. It's so well thought out, so well done. Look at the thickness of these. They are absolutely huge, and just all the old knots that would have been just typical of the time, just mishmash of huge boards. And then this is one of our favourite corners. There's the beautiful panelling, beautiful bottom here. And I love a ship, as you probably know. I love anything to do with the sort of maritime artwork. And then this corner just feels like super lovely. Some paper origami here, and this beautiful old chest of drawers. I have to say, the antiques in here are absolutely second to none. The patina on them is perfect. They've just got exquisite taste. coming through to what I presume is their fancy room, this beautiful barn conversion. So there's the central part of the cottage, and then there's a barn on one side and a barn on the other. This side is the fancy room, and then the other side is the kitchen. And so this has got much higher ceilings, of course, because it would have been a barn and would have been the animals in here. And now is just this absolutely gorgeous sitting room. Much lighter because you've got the newer windows, bigger windows, of course. And it's, I really love actually this fireplace. They've obviously, picked it up from a reclamation yard somewhere, but I absolutely love the way that they've utilised the dark wood and the panelling that they have in the rest of the cottage, and then brought it into this very light, very airy space that feels kind of almost incongruous, but actually, because it's so incongruous, it works so well. And they've kept the beams really dark. They've not lightened them in what is now sort of popular. It feels really in keeping, and it just ties it all together. Mary Saville, wife of Saville of Massley, 1741. Just a beautiful, I love this. This sort of, almost, Raphaelite type way that people used to hold their hands, or certainly maybe way the painter painted their hands. I absolutely love that. And just the texture of this dress, you just can feel that taffeta silk, can't you? It's absolutely beautiful. And she's very, very stunning woman. I have no idea where you would pick up a piece of art like this, so big. In the house. It's this brilliantly beautiful fridge. Such a good idea. They had it made. It's just such a great way of disguising a fridge, and now I really want to do this at home. Such a good idea. Before I show you upstairs, I just wanted to point out the most beautiful stair gates I've ever seen. If you've got a dog or a child, this is the way to do a stair gate. This is an old pearled chest. I mean, it's just so beautifully done. And I literally am obsessed with their use of textiles. This is just so gorgeous. I would probably guess Uzbek, I would imagine, but that is just stunning. This was my room where I slept, and this, the view in here is absolutely incredible, and the headboard absolutely beautifully done in this ticking stripe. And I just imagine Wordsworth sat here in the corner, scribbling down his ideal spots in the Lake District to come and travel to. And the view out here is absolutely wonderful. We saw rabbits out here as well, and we are not far from Hilltop, Beatrix Potter's home. And it was just really, really magical. You can see sheep, you can see you can see the lake, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. The dressing room is probably the most original dressing room that I feel I've ever been into. These doors are just ancient, but also, oh, they're my shoes. Glad I found those. Just really, really practical. Beautifully done. A very lovely dressing room, and just really simple, but really beautifully done. Welcome to a very opulent bathroom. It's absolutely gorgeous in here. The tiling is exceptional, and the shower is just absolutely amazing. So coming through the corridor, we've got another bathroom here, which is really sweet. That has got a bath and a great view across the green fields, so you can sit and have your bath and enjoy the view. Again, just really tastefully done. Everything is gorgeous in here. I really love shells, and there's just so many wonderful shells everywhere. I think he said this was his mother-in-law, actually. No, sister-in-law.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
So I'll have to get her name and share it with you, because it's just really beautifully done. absolutely gorgeous Suzanne on the bed, which I'm obsessed with. It's also really thick. You usually get Suzannes that are actually quite thin, but this one has got some real weight to it. So it's a really lovely, lovely piece. And the headboard, I literally love this headboard, whatever fabric this is. I absolutely adore it. It's kind of ticking, and then it's also got this sort of floral motif as well, which is gorgeous. Just such a lovely room again. Just making the most of like an awkward, like beamed house that's very wonky. Everything just looks stunning. Beatrix used Hilltop as a setting for several of her books. The Tale of Tom Kitten, she painted the mischievous cats on this stone wall next to the white gate.
In the tale of Jemima Puddle Duck, Beatrix used the craggy landscape of her farm as a dramatic backdrop.
On the marrow, look. Little rabbit's been at the marrow. In her tale, Jemima Puddle Duck hid her eggs in the rhubarb patch, where they were found by Betsy and Ralph Cannon, the farmer's children.
This one's got some in it. To see you excited. Oh, they're big. Not the biggest. It's almost the size of me.
Yeah, we left that one. I think a deer's had a bit of a munch. Look, I think I must have left the door open. See that one growing outside the veg patch?
What's this? What's this? God, that's taller than me. Mummy.
Mummy, Grandma.
This is taller than me.
Gangnam Style. Oh my goodness! That's incredible. Pick them both up, Rafe. Pick them both up.
How is he gonna do that? Yeah, could you come? Oh, and here's a green. Yeah. Oh, guess what colour mine are? Green, green. Oh, one more. How many are in there? Oh, there's one. Wow. So.
See?
And this one we were trialling a base, because sometimes people think it's a bit too traditional for them and they'd like something that feels a bit more contemporary. So we've designed this aluminium base, which also ticks the box if you think, well, I'm not going to be here for more than 5 years, but I'd like to take it with me and not invest in a base that will then be left. So it's a kind of maybe a slightly more contemporary, slightly more less permanent way of presenting the base. So that's our National Trust Mortise font with we called it a wainscot base because wainscot panelling is Victorian. Tunnel these to the rafters come Chelsea, because no one ever says, I wish I got a smaller greenhouse, particularly when you get into like March, April, May, because it's just peak growing and it's just so much that we want to get done. If you know, Arthur Jacks do water butts. And water butts are fine, but I love a dipping tank. And so he designed this for us. So it's literally just like that, dunk and go, which I think is just wonderful. Because irrigation is obviously critical. Summer like the one we've just had is just really makes it very clear. So we try and make sure that you use every bit of downpipe and conserve the water. And I think it's something, one of the things I'm really excited about exploring is making a bigger underground tank. So inside you might see there's a sort of a chrome pipe coming down. You'll see them in that greenhouse as well. We put an underground reservoir in when we build as part of if people want to have irrigation, and then you just have a hand pump. So it's ambient temperature water, and you're saving, you know, literally, as long as you have every downpipe goes into something, I think that's the aim. But this, I think, is just such a nice way to water. And it's our Thomas Messenger, which is, I mentioned the cherry house, and Fee showed a few pictures of the cherry house. And we worked with English Heritage, the Rothschild estates, various other people at that point, and an architect, saying, right, we just want to replicate the work of Thomas Messenger because he built this cherry house. And the idea being it had to look like wood from the inside and the outside. So it was very exacting, a very, very exacting client who wanted it to be just so. And it's something we're incredibly proud of. I'd encourage you just to have a little mooch through. And so it's just so handy. It's just so the water, so you can see it's there. So I'd like to explore a really big underground reservoir. So this is just showing the tank.
Some old greenhouses do have those amazing.
Yeah, they really do.
Huge tanks.
Yeah, I mean the Victorians, they knew what they were doing. Their proportions. Like we have a low eaves height and the top of the door threshold is higher. That's the they just got it right. They not only did they, because they were plant collectors, obviously they needed to keep their plants alive because they couldn't pop out and get another one. So they knew how to keep the plants alive with ventilation and so on, but they also knew how to make it look beautiful. And sometimes you can't quite tell why is a greenhouse just not look quite right. And I think it's when you deviate from some of those proportions, it's not quite there. And this thing.
Anyway, welcome to the manual area. So within the manual area, what we do is we'll receive a job from the machine shop. We will then look at all the relevant information that we've got from it, so model, ground plan, any sort of specifications that is required, and the design of the actual structure itself. What we will do is we'll then dissect it all. We'll fit and weld any bespoke lugs, anything that is sort of standard in that sense as well, and we will then basically double check everything before it eventually goes into the paint shop. What we would do is, if you look at the trolley on your left hand side over here, we will fit any sort of end plates. If we have a long structure, we will fit a joint plate on the bottom rail. So it's all the things that design require for your structure to be put up correctly in that sense. What we would do is we have our welding bay behind us here. So we've got a chap in there at the moment who does well, he's working on a job currently, but he's a little bit quiet because he makes a bit of noise. And then what he would do is once that's done, it'll go back onto the trolley like this one here, and then it'll go into the grinding bay and get ready for grinding. Within the grinding bay, it will then get prepped, cleaned. We will do our final inspection of quality and make sure there's no damage to this product, and then it'll be ready to go through to next door for paint.
The thing that Duncan will do in here is what trial erect, or really it's the first installation effectively. You can sometimes come out here, the whole area will be fenced off, and Duncan is literally building a greenhouse in here, but effectively by himself. He'll just get up, whack the whole thing up and whack it down. Take note of any issues, correct them, and then get it all prepped properly. So that will happen once or twice a month probably. The bigger ones we get, and we're going to see one outside, the install team will prep and do those as well. But often you'll see Duncan, just with 20 years of experience, having done it a million times before, can just whack up and whack down a greenhouse, which is genuinely beyond belief, and massively appreciative of that, because it shapes weights as well onto our bar over here. He's lifting it up and dumping it into effectively 3 different tanks. Our first tank, as we gently lower it down, is basically a weak acid. What that is there to do is to, again, further clean, remove any blemishes, and is effectively the final, the penultimate prepping stage before painting. He'll dunk it in there, rest it in there for about a minute. We don't want it too long as it'll start to corrode the aluminium. We also don't want to leave it too short, otherwise you'll leave a lot of oil on the parts, and that leaves the blemishes down the line. Form the real bulk of most of the greenhouses we make. However, we do any paint new request. Effectively, we're now doing and offering some textured versions of a lot of our paint, which have a more matte type finish. They are generally better and longer lasting. but you also have the standard glossy finishes as well. We've had requests from our customer relatively painted and also all those finishing tiny details.
Where's it going, Sam?
So this one's going to America. This is Bauman. So this is what we probably call a big greenhouse, but not an effing huge one. So it is of a.
Why Sam's not on the sales
This is
It's meant for you.